So one of the most difficult things, getting any kind of justice or even a chance or even a fair shake for either Nathan or myself in all of our organized stalking and harassment, is VocalCom. My grandmother was deaf, and when I was a child back in the 1980s, um, she would place a phone call. She would take the phone, she'd put it onto a typewriter, and she'd type, and the typewriter would speak. So these different companies like VocalCom have created apps via shady IT people. They could take anyone's voice, my voice, my mother's voice, my sister's voice, because I had a conversation last year with my sister and it was not my sister. And then I managed to actually get her from a payphone, having to call her by putting $3 in quarters into the phone, and I was able to get through. She had an issue at Sprint. I had an issue at Sprint. She had an issue at T-Mobile. I had an issue at T-Mobile. Here's the thing, I didn't have Sprint. I had a different LLC of Sprint. But it's very basic information technology science. They could record somebody off TV. They could record Deborah Norville or Donald Trump. They need about 30 minutes of conversation. It goes into an app. And then they call someone like my new attorney who probably thinks he got a call from Donald Trump, but really he got a call not from anybody in government, from some loser here in Yorkville. And while he's talking, here's the response, and it sounds just like the person in live time. It can even do flutters and enunciation each time so that you don't get the same response each time, and it doesn't sound robotic. Someone showed me this as well because I took out a book by the author Maya Angelou, whom I adore, and the book was called Me and Mom and Me, or Mom and Me and Mom. And I realized, while I was listening to the book, that this was possibly not her most poignant autobiography. And this was released allegedly before her death, but I know her work very well. I'd never heard of this book. And now I'm unable to check the book out. That's either a stunt and the book does exist, but this all got me thinking. How is it possible I had a conversation with my sister Johanna, and 1 hour later she had no recollection of the conversation? How is it possible that a couple years back my mother-in-law called Nathan and said, Michael just called me screaming and crying and left a voicemail, and I had been fast asleep for 3 hours because these idiots, not really idiots, these felony stalkers, really, have put all this technology between our phones. It's a friend of my landlord's. Her name rhymes with Zinni.